All right, let's get back to the topic at hand. Why you think I'm biased towards WWE than Impact?
Well, that's a great way to kick off my video. What is up,
Okay.
guys? Chase over here. We're here doing a wrestling debate here on the channel, as you can see with our Twitter pictures. It is me and RockSolid EJ doing a debate about. I pretty much just feel like when it comes to wrestling and reviewing wrestling and discussing wrestling, if you're going to be going on and giving your thoughts about a product, I always feel like being fair is kind of what you need to do. And it's funny, I always get labeled as a WWE fanboy, yet my last 3 out of 4 Impact reviews have been positive. My one bad Impact review, people actually agreed with me that it was a pretty bad episode. But for me personally, I always try to be fair as possible when it comes to wrestling and when it comes to reviews. What I don't like is when some people try to say that, hey, this company is better because so and so and this, but it's like, hey, so and so this is as well doing as so and so that. So how can you tell me that company is doing better? And so, EJ, the reason why I think you're biased towards Impact Wrestling instead of WWE is I feel like you let Impact skate by sometimes, where it's just like you'll defend Impact on a lot of stuff that you probably wouldn't defend WWE, probably wouldn't defend New Japan, probably wouldn't defend ROH. I feel you trash those companies, WWE, New Japan, and ROH, way more than you do Impact Wrestling. I feel Impact Wrestling, I get it's your bread and butter, it's one of your favorite companies, but I feel like you're just a little bit more lenient with them when they do certain things. I feel like a mediocre Impact episode for you is considered a great one, which is fine if you think that, but for me personally, I feel like if you're going to go on here and be someone that's like vocal about wrestling on Twitter and give your thoughts and stuff like that, it kind of comes off as your bias, and then when you call other fans bias and shit like that, or use terms like you a WWE fanboy or a New Japan bot or you're an ROH head and everything like that, how can you be out of that question when you're an Impact fanboy? That's what I want to say right there. It's like, how can you be out of that question? How are you out of that discussion just because it's like, oh, well, that's my preference? Well, what if that's that person's preference? Well, they're a fucking retard, then they're a fucking idiot. They don't know what's up.
Well,
Like,
see,
I've seen
the
you do
thing,
that before, calling someone fucking stupid for liking WWE
here's
more
the
than
thing, though.
Impact.
See,
So you can talk. Hey, you can talk
hey,
now.
hey,
I'm just
you hear
saying.
me?
I've seen you do that.
Okay, first of all, I don't go after anybody if they're a fanboy of any company. I don't go after them for that. See, the thing is, if they say something that sounds dumb or doesn't make any sense, and they claim, oh, it's right, then I go after them. It has to be a reason. I don't just go after them because of what the company they're a favorite of. I don't conduct myself like that. I don't do that. What I go in is
I've
if
seen you call
someone says
WWE
something
fans
dumb.
fucking stupid though. I've seen you call WWE fans fucking
Yeah, well, if
stupid.
I do that, it's for a reason. It's for a reason. I don't just go after them because if they're like a certain company. If you like a certain company, that's you. I mean, I can't hate on that. I don't want nobody to hate on me just because I love certain companies. I mean, we all have our different tastes. That's part of wrestling. Everybody has different tastes in different things. As a part of wrestling, that's what makes wrestling fun. Not everybody's gonna love the same thing. Not everybody's gonna. Oh, you
But
hate this. You have to
what gives you the
hate
right
this.
to
What you do.
call?
I don't accept myself that way either.
But what gives you the right to call someone a fanboy, a tard, or sucking the D of
If they say
WWE? Like
if they
what
say
gives you the
dumb
right to
things,
say
that's
that
what I go
when
after.
you're like that with Impact? That's what I just want. That's what I'm trying to get out here. It's like, what gives you the right to?
Impact fanboys say dumb shit too. I go after them too. There's a certain point I do that. I do. And at one point when I was
No,
down on the company,
I
I
haven't
go after
seen that
them.
at all. Honestly, man, I wish I could say I've
Well,
seen it, but I
it
haven't.
happened. It happened. It happened. Hey, you have to hold on for a second.
Sorry about that. We
Yeah.
have to take a quick pause for the cause, even though
Yeah.
I'm not promoted by anything. But go on with what you were saying, EJ.
Yeah, like I was saying, is if I be biased, if I go after people of their opinion, it's for a reason. It's not like I go after people because of certain companies they like.
But
If you say something
like I
dumb,
asked
regardless of
before,
what.
how come you can call someone a fanboy, a D sucker, a tard for stuff like that? That's what I don't get. When you say you prefer Impact, right? When does
If they
that
say
technically
outrageous,
make you a
if they say
Impact
outrageous
fanboy?
stuff, that's when I go after them. If they say outrageous stuff, I don't just go after them just because of what companies they like. I don't do
Then
that.
you're assuming that that's their fan base, like that they only watch that company, which I just think is kind of ridiculous in my personal opinion. Like, to me, I feel like you defend Impact on a lot of things where it's just like, some of the stuff is not defensible. Like the GWN highlights throughout the show, I don't know how you can defend what they do with like lazy editing.
No, that it's kind of annoying to me too. Some of them are too long. I think this would.
I
like,
saw you debate that
like
with someone though recently. I saw you debate someone saying that what's wrong with them promoting their network? Oh, blah blah blah. And I was like, this is like showing you old stuff.
Yeah, it's not wrong with promoting it, but I think, like I said, but also I think I agree the other side is too long. Sometimes they be showing full matches, and there's really no point in that showing an old full match. I mean, this show like a couple of minutes of a match, and then that'll help people to like, oh, you like this match, you like this whole match, what buy the global network, and so you can watch the whole thing. That's what I suggest they should do. Something like that.
Yeah, I know. I think the GWN segments are just lazy editing, and if WWE were to do that on their shows, like let's just say the same time Impact started doing that, what would you say about that? Just curious.
Same thing.
All right, same thing.
Just shorten it. If they want to do stuff like that, just shorten it. I mean, yeah.
Now with Impact Wrestling, I get it that you like it more than WWE, but how come it's like Impact you don't grade as hard with WWE? How come with Impact you kind of let it slide with some of the stuff that they do, inconsistencies with characters and storylines, dropping storylines, sometimes with the editing and the commentary? You don't go at Impact as hard as WWE. Why is it that WWE you go super hard on, and Impact Wrestling you kind of let the mediocrity kind of slide sometimes?
Well, on that, see, this is the thing. With Impact Wrestling, at least I see some type of effort of having an actual wrestling show. When it comes to WWE, it's this, oh, you expecting a good wrestling show where just random stuff happens. You think, oh, this guy is going to do something special tonight, and then he ends up dropping in the match for 2 minutes. That's what I see from Raw, and I get sick of that, and that's why I stopped watching on a weekly basis.
Here's another question.
That's just one example.
Well, here's another question. Impact is taped, so which means they get time to kind of book the show behind the scenes and everything like that. They get time to do all that stuff. Raw is live. It's a little bit different. Does that ever come into your mindset or come into your thing where it's like, well, it's different because it's a live show, and Impact, they've already taped and they planned in advance. I'm not against taping. I am just saying Impact has kind of an advantage. They don't have that, hey, it's live TV type of factor. They get their little, hey, we get our quirks, and if they mess up on something, they can always retape it, and those Impact fans, they'll sit there and they'll like it because they get a little bit more. With Raw, it's kind of like you have to book on the go.
But what about the pay-per-views?
On the fly.
What about Impact pay-per-view? Those aren't taped. Slammiversary wasn't taped.
Yeah, I'm saying for the weekly show. We're arguing weekly shows here. We're arguing weekly shows first. But
those are live shows, though. They're doing it live. Not everything to do is recorded.
Yeah, but they have more time to book everything, so that way they're booked way in advance than WWE. WWE, they just book on the fly. Impact Wrestling, they have time to book what they need to book.
Probably one of their issues right now. That's one of their problems right now. They're booking on the fly. That's probably why quality of shows are suffering.
But does that ever come into your mind or play into a factor why Impact may have a slight advantage over WWE when it comes to the weeklies, or no? Does that something where it's just like, oh,
really? No, because the WWE, you're supposed to have the tip top people in charge of all that. That's not an excuse. So that's why they pay. That's why they pay their people top dollar.
So
I don't understand why would you believe that some type of excuse?
No, but that doesn't matter to you at all, that WWE's live and Impact's taped, so Impact kind of gets a little bit more of an advantage, or no?
No, there's no advantage.
How's that not an advantage, being able to tell your talent, hey, this is what we're going to do for the next 4 weeks of episodes and everything like that, and these are the storylines that are going to be headed for? How's that not an advantage? I feel like that's a good advantage to me. That's like that's like in football, knowing tougher. Your opponent's first 4 plays.
I think that's tougher. Taping, like how many shows they tape now?
Like 4.
Not consecutively.
They tape like 2.
That's harder.
Two.
That's harder to do.
Why is it harder? Explain that to me. I'm curious because someone who has worked with Championship Wrestling from Hollywood and have seen like what they're able to do behind the scenes because they tape a lot of shows in advance. I understand when some wrestlers say live shows are harder than tape shows. So I'm curious to hear what you're saying.
Nah, I disagree with that. Taping consecutive shows, regardless of this tape or not, it's difficult because you can hardly get less rest. You get less rest working a 24-hour period or a 7-day period.
But they work just as much as WWE and New Japan and all these other wrestlers. They still do house shows and stuff like that. So they still do a bunch of rest period. They're like, and not like the wrestlers wrestle every night. It's like the wrestlers take a break. Like some weeks, Austin Aries will just be talking, like he's not even wrestling.
He's still on the camera though. He's still got to perform, even though he's performing a wrestling match or
man. For me personally, I think when it comes to producing a wrestling show or producing a show in general, if you can give me 4 episodes to tape within a 48-hour time period, it's so much easier to do than taping a weekly WWE show where you have to make shit up on the fly, try to be consistent, try to feature that terrible.
Well, if that seems to be a disadvantage, you have to just change it up. Change it up.
What would you do?
I mean, Raw was always live, and
give WWE a solution.
So I don't understand why using live as an excuse.
I'm always about solutions. Give WWE a solution. How could WWE improve? How would you change it up?
Well, for one, Raw, go back to 2 hours. Why is it 3? You have a bunch of filler stuff, and you got this big overcrowded roster, and yet there's hardly nothing to go out your way to watch. Why put it 3 hours?
Well, it's called a thing called USA Network wants it at 3 hours because of advertisements. So yeah.
Okay, so that means you would have to put on shit quality programming. That's the excuse?
No, I'm just saying that's why it's you asked why is Raw 3 hours? And I gave you the answer because USA Network wants it 3 hours because it makes more money for the network and WWE. But I'm asking you, give me a solution because you're just like, get Raw down to 3 hours. Well, EJ, what if someone's like, hey, make Raw 2 hours? And they go, EJ, we can't do that because of the network and everything like that. How would you make Raw a better live experience? Give me some solutions, man. I just want some solutions. I just want, instead of like bitching and like try to make everything a negative when it comes to WWE.
Talk about overall better wrestling product.
How would you do that? What would you do?
Better storylines, action storylines that I could get behind. Like, it doesn't come
give
as
me an example. Don't
okay.
Say the generic.
This guy
give me an example. Choose a wrestler, give me a storyline, and I'll tell you if I'll like that or not. I don't care. Give me a wrestler, give me a storyline.
That's gonna be difficult. I haven't been watching WWE like that. I don't know.
Dude, just choose any wrestler. I don't give a fuck if it's Kurt Hawkins. Just give me any wrestler.
Rusev and AJ Styles. I don't know.
All right, go right. Rusev, AJ Styles. What would you do with the feud? What would you do with the feud between these two men?
Shit, I don't know. Shit.
See, that's the thing. Like, you complain.
Well, tell me this. What do you think of WWE right now? You actually think you have to go out the way? If you tell somebody right now, go and watch Raw, would you honestly tell them, oh, you have to watch it, it's great? You have to watch the show?
I wouldn't have to say you have to watch the show. I would have to say that there's segments you need to watch, but I wouldn't say you have to watch the whole show.
But that's not enough, though, just watching segments. The purpose of watching a TV show, you want to watch the whole thing.
I say the same thing about Impact.
You want to watch a part of The Simpsons?
Impact, there's only certain segments you need to watch.
You want to watch the parts of The Simpsons or, I don't know, Gotham or something like that? No, you want to watch the whole thing. What's the point of having a program?
I'm definitely someone, if I'm binge watching a show on Netflix, there's certain character arcs I could give 2 shits about, and I'll fast forward. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, Orange is the New Black, I didn't care about, I don't know if you watched that show. Like, you can make fun of me for watching it too. I don't care. It's a great show. Orange is the New Black, there's this one character that got introduced in the newer season. I fast forwarded anytime I saw her because I was like, I don't care about your character arc. It's a waste of time, to be honest. And I was right because nothing happened with that character anyways. So,
I don't do that for the shows I watch. I don't have to fast forward anything. If that's the case, then I probably don't watch it all.
Oh, no, because certain storylines are written very well. It was just, this was a total filler character that didn't need to be on the show at all. Like, she was extremely fucking filler and everything like that.
But hey, let me tell you, Impact has full of stuff too. The stuff with what that dude named Grado. I really don't care for his stuff.
I like Joe Henry though. Joe Henry's cool.
Yeah, he's okay. But like the stuff with Grado, I really don't care for. But it don't really make me upset of being on TV because sometimes those wrestling shows are going to have those type of characters on TV. I mean, it don't really bother me. Like when WWE had Santino, I did Santino Marella. That didn't really bother me. you know. But the thing about it, they had other stupid stuff going on, and that just kind of pissed me off, you know.
But to me personally, man, when I asked you to give me a solution, find a few, that's like the thing where I'm like saying like.
But I mean, it's not an easy solution for WWE. I mean, it's like it's so
why
much,
is it not
so
easy? If it's easy for Impact, it should be easy for WWE. If it's easy for Impact,
well, first of all, Impact is not as long as Raw.
But
that's why I say sometimes length does matter.
That doesn't give Impact like advantages because it's not as long. Like NXT is not as long as Impact or Raw. I think NXT is not one of the best shows. I think NXT is the worst wrestling show out there. Quote it. I don't care.
You talking about the weekly show? Or?
Yeah, NXT weekly shows. I don't watch those.
Yeah, I hardly ever watch NXT. If I do watch, it's probably the takeover shows. So I agree with you there.
Yeah, no,
it's not really. It's not about the
so your excuse of Impact's 2 hours and stuff like that, and it's like, give me a solution, give me a feud that would get fans to watch Raw on a weekly basis. You couldn't give me anything. You were like, I don't know, I haven't watched this shit for a while, dude. I haven't.
You want to talk about a feud?
If I haven't watched Impact for a while, and you said, Chase, give me a wrestler that you would push right now, I would say push fucking Moose. Why? He looks like a star. He's someone that I could actually care about. He is somewhat of an Impact original. I wouldn't even know he wrestled for Ring of Honor at all.
Look what we're doing last year.
No. Let me finish.
He should have won the title with Raw.
Hey, I'm telling you, if I was someone that didn't watch Impact, you just show me the roster, I'd say push Moose. Dude's a star. He's someone different. He's someone new. He's someone unique for that company. I would push this guy to the stars and the moon. And how I would do it is I would have him beat Austin Aries, an established world champion, a guy that is actually credible to a lot of Impact fans and some wrestling fans outside of Impact from his time at Ring of Honor. His time in WWE definitely helped his stock up a little bit. Then I would have him feud with Eddie Edwards. You know, even though they used to be friends, Eddie Edwards, he's now psycho and crazy, which is another problem with Impact. They love their psycho dark characters. I don't get it. It's so fucking annoying. Can we just have one character that's not psycho and dark, Impact, please? And thank you very much. Mwah. But anyways, Eddie Edwards is saying that Moose has something he wants. He goes crazy and everything like that. Boom. Moose and Eddie Edwards retain. Then I would have Moose lose the title to Sami Callihan because I feel like Callahan's a good foil for Moose. I would have Moose break down. I don't know if Pentagon will still be with the company at that time, but if Pentagon's not a guy to feud with, Eli Drake seems like a good guy. I would build up Pentagon versus Brian Cage in the meantime, having it where Brian Cage and Sami Callihan.
Stars right now.
No, hold on. I'm not done. I'm not telling you how I'd make Moose a star. I'd build up Brian Cage and Sami Callihan in the meantime, while Sami Callihan and Brian Cage are doing their thing. And then by next year's Slammiversary, you could have the main event of either Sami Callihan or Moose in a hardcore type of match that'd be pretty sick. Or you could have Moose versus Brian Cage, which would be getting guys saying, oh shit, this looks like an interesting matchup. Even though they've touched before, but at least there. See what I did there? I provided a solution. That's what I wanted you to do, saying like, hey, this is what I would do with Raw. And I'm saying book every show.
That's the thing I want to tell you. Credibility within the stars. WWE hardly has any of that. It's just certain guys, you think they're stars, but they just job.
Well, what about Impact? What about Impact credibility with stars? It just seems like you have to be a former WWE guy and then you get a title shot.
Like who?
Like Aries, Johnny Nitro, Johnny Impact, Johnny Inundo, whatever his name is. And like, Eli Drake. If you told me that Eli Drake was a former world champion and he main evented Bound for Glory last year, if I wasn't watching, I would be like, no, he's not. He looks like a jobber right now because he's not doing anything. He's a good wrestler. It's just that he's not doing anything worth the time.
But the thing is, Drake can overcome that stuff.
Okay, here you go. This is where I'm saying this is where I'm saying the bias comes in. It's because like if I insulted you, if I were
not a bias though. Not everybody has to be tip top credibility.
No,
you have to have a certain balance.
No, I'm just.
That's not wrong with WWE. There's no balance. There's no balance for the WWE.
There is a balance. Like Eli Drake could be feuding
the bottom.
Eli Drake could be feuding with Phoenix right now or something. Someone that actually has a name, not Joe Henry and Grado.
It's not like he's a total job. It's not like it's like Sheamus going from WWE champion to being a jobber or something like that, or like Jinder Mahal He was a freaking jobber, and they give him the fucking title.
He's feuding with the lower card tag team. That is like Sheamus going to be a jobber, or Jinder Mahal being a. Jinder Mahal went to like WWE main eventer to at least the U.S. title. Where's he like? Eli Drake is not even like in contention. Like he's not even doing like, hey, maybe I'll take over the X division. Yeah, dummy or something like that.
Well, the thing is, there's a lot of talent that's being pushed right now. Of course, like, you're going to have some guys who think they're going to...
See? Yeah. Look at this.
That's just how...
Come on, man.
That's just how it is.
Come on, man.
So what are you saying? Well, how many credible talents in WWE right now? I can't think of any. It's like, oh, you see this guy's here, but then next week, either job or he's nowhere to be found. I mean, or he's just some dumb random...
I'm saying Impact has credible... No, hold up. Time out. I'm saying Impact has credible talents. I'm just saying that you, like right now, if I insulted a WWE superstar, you'd be like, hell yeah, man, that's what's up. But here I am saying Eli Drake's feuding with jobbers. Yeah, man, there's no room. Yet WWE has an overcrowded roster. They don't know what they're doing with their talent. Do you not see how you can come off as biased, man?
I can name one guy. That's just one guy, though. With WWE, I can name plenty of guys.
Like, what's Trevor Lee doing? What's Trevor Lee doing? He's a former X Division champion. It seemed like he was going places. What's he doing now? Nothing.
Nothing. What is X Division?
What's DJ Z doing? Nothing. He's a guy that they spent time on. He's doing nothing. I'm just saying. Well, there's guys that are also on Impact doing nothing.
This is what you understand. Not everybody is going to be featured as a prospect. You're going to have level stars.
And it's like that on WWE.
Who do you present every week? Who do you present every week?
For what?
Austin, he's the world champion. He's on the show every week. He's in something big. You have Eddie Edwards. You have Pentagon. You have Sami Callihan. You have the Knockouts.
Well, I mean, you're not going to
feature everybody as a tip-top star. You're going to have certain people have to win and people have to lose. That's the part of a wrestling show.
So if WWE
not everybody is going to be a winner. But compared to WWE, it's more like everybody's lose, and you'll have maybe 3 or 4 guys that look like something.
Wait, you're trying to say WWE Impact only has like 3 or 4 guys that actually looks. Come on, man.
What?
Impact only has 3 or 4 guys that actually mean a damn right now.
Really?
Yeah. Look at your reaction.
Please name them.
Come on, cuz. You cannot be telling me right now.
Please name them.
Austin Aries. Moose. Callahan.
Okay.
And then Pentagon's kind of like they're obviously booking around if he's going to resign or not with his contract out because he might be gone. So they're kind of pussyfooting around with him and stuff like that. But he's just someone that is just.
He's in a big match tonight.
Huh?
He's in a big match tonight. Mexican Death Match with Sammy. What are you talking about?
No, like I'm saying they're pussyfoot. Like they're not going all the way like they should.
You mean pussyfoot? He's in a big Mexican Death Match, the main event.
Yeah, against Sami Callihan, a match I already seen before. I saw it at Slammiversary.
They didn't been in a Mexican Death Match, boy.
It was pretty much a Mexican Death Match.
No, that was a mask versus hair match.
And it was a death.
There's no mask or hair on the line, so you can't say it's the exact same match.
Under Lucha rules, it's kind of the same shit.
Well, to you, it's not just mask versus hair. No one's gonna lose their mask or hair in this match.
The thing is, though,
the psychology is gonna be different.
Pentagon's not being pushed like all the way. You know what I'm saying? Like after a big.
You mean he was the Impact World Champion?
Dude, come on, EJ. Come on,
he was.
He was. And then
come on, you saying did not put the Pentagon? Well, come on, now you're the one being biased now.
No, how am I biased? I say Pentagon's a great talent. I think Pentagon's a world champion.
They're not utilized. They utilize him in a big feud with Sammy, the dude that legit took out Eddie Edwards' eye.
And Pentagon Jr. after beating Sammy should be the #1 contender to the world title.
But he's still I'm biased
on the show. I'm biased because I feel like a guy should be developed to be a world champion.
You also don't understand that not everybody's going to be a world title contender. Impact. I think that's what. Everybody has to be around the world title. It doesn't work that way. No wrestling program works.
I just feel like if you were to choose between
not even WWE back in his heyday. Everybody wasn't surrounded. All the top stars were surrounded with the WWE.
No, I'm just saying. From a standpoint of how you're booking teams, if Pentagon and Eddie Edwards, who should be the guy that you're booking to face Aries more? it should be Pentagon, and Edwards should be probably doing a feud with like Seidel or something like that, or maybe a feud with Moose because he's gone unhinged. Like, that's what I'm saying. You're not letting me. You're just saying that. Oh.
But that doesn't mean they can't do that, though. They can still do that.
Well, they're waiting because they have to wait and see what's Pentagon's contract status because he's going to be a free agent.
Okay, but that still doesn't mean they're not featuring him.
They're featuring him. They're just pussyfooting around, which means they're not going all
the way.
How
are they pussyfooting though?
They're not going all the way with him. What part do you not understand?
What do you mean they're not going all the way? What are you saying?
They're not making.
He's in a big match tonight on the show. He's the main event.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
And I'm saying he's not going to go for the world title anytime soon.
Just because he's not going for the world title, I mean, he's not a big deal. See, you're not understanding. See, that's what I'm talking about.
You don't.
Not everybody's
haven't been
around the world title.
Okay, I understand that not everyone needs to be in the main event or go for the world title. I understand that, EJ. I understand that. No. I understand that. The thing what you don't understand is this. See, Pentagon Jr., by the way he's been built up, after the big match he had with Sami Callihan, who is arguably the #1 heel in Impact Wrestling, do you think that this motherfucker should be continuing to feud with this guy, or do you think this guy should go after the world title? Do you feel like Eddie Edwards, after a match with Tommy Dreamer, who, by the way, Tommy Dreamer is nowhere near the Impact heavyweight title scene or considered a #1 contender or a threat to that heavyweight division, do you think Eddie Edwards should get a title shot over Pentagon Jr. based off logic? No, that's what you're not understanding. And I said, I would have Eddie Edwards.
Logic can be different things.
That's why I said Eddie Edwards could feud with like Matt Seidel, because Seidel's a guy on the rise. Eddie Edwards is on the rise with his new Psycho character. That'd be a good mesh of characters. Make Pentagon world champ. Go after Aries. He deserves a rematch for after, especially the way Aries cheated to beat him. That could be a feud and storyline you can continue. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying they're pussyfooting around because they don't know. I'm just saying. I think you misunderstood how I meant pussyfooting. It's just like they're just like stepping on their tiptoes. They don't want to go all the way because they don't know what's his contract like.
But he still be a big show.
Yeah,
big
no,
deal
he's being featured. I just said that he should be.
What do you mean by pussyfooting? What are they pussyfooting with?
Yeah, dude. You really ignore.
I still don't understand what you're saying. What do you mean by pussyfoot?
They're not going all the way with the dude. Like they're not.
What do you mean going all the way? He was the world heavyweight champion. And he's one of the big deals in wrestling.
If you consider
what is pussyfooting with that?
All right, so let me use this as a WWE logic because since you like to take down WWE and you treat it like trash anyways, let's just say Seth Rollins defeated Triple H, right? And then Dean Ambrose defeated fucking Doink the Clown. But yet Dean Ambrose got the world championship shot onto Roman Reigns, except for Seth Rollins, who they're not doing shit with. Instead, he's having a fucking Extreme Rules match with Triple H at the main event of Raw. Tell me, are they pussyfooting with Seth Rollins?
Why would Ambrose get a title shot? He's a jobber. Doink the Clown's what is he? He's a jobber.
That's the comparison I was trying to make. Eddie Edwards beat Tommy Dreamer, who is nowhere near.
But that's a dumb comparison. Of course, I'm agree with that. See, you comparison apples to oranges, though.
How is it apples? It's the same type of concept.
With Impact, the credibility. What Doink the Clown? What kind of credibility will Doink the Clown have?
Maybe not Doink the Clown. Then Dean Ambrose faces like McIntyre or some shit. How's that? Is McIntyre good for you?
Drew McIntyre? I like Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, but is McIntyre who's on Tommy Dreamer level for you? Where it's like he's nowhere near the world title scene, yet Eddie Edwards beating him and getting world title shots makes sense. Like who's on that for you?
Well, the thing is,
Ziggler. How about Ambrose beats
the
Ziggler?
Storyline? No, that the storyline. Listen to what I'm saying. The storyline made it feel like a bigger deal.
I understand.
It's not necessarily
what the storyline was about. But like the thing is, I understand.
Sometimes they'll propel you.
Yeah, but the thing is,
a bigger opening.
Like, to me personally, though, this character change of Eddie Edwards doesn't deserve a world title shot right away. It's something that you build up to. That's what you're not getting. It's like they said, Eddie Edwards has a long-term contract. We don't know what Pentagon Jr. We're not going to go. We're going to feature Pentagon. Don't get us wrong. And I'm saying he's being featured. That's where you're. The thing is, though, we're going to tiptoe.
That's part of wrestling. It's not going to go by your exact logic of, this guy has to face this guy. If it doesn't do it, then, they're not doing something right. That's part of wrestling. Not everything's going to go by
so
how you want it to
if
go
WWE
by.
does that
doesn't go by.
So wait. This is where, like, EJ, do you not hear, like, I hope you listen to this back and you'll be like, Man, Chase is right somewhat that I am kind of biased towards Impact because if WWE,
your own horn, man. Come on.
No, I said if WWE does stuff live and it doesn't go by your logic, you're like, well, they're just stupid. They don't know what they're talking about. And yet you're going on with Impact and you're like, well, Chase, they don't go by your logic. Doesn't mean they're stupid. Like, come on, man.
Give me an example.
I was asking you what. Give me WWE live. I said book something. You're like, I don't know. I don't watch that shit. Oh, they just don't do stuff that makes sense. Why is it 3 hours? And I gave you a reason why it's 3 hours. And still nothing. Then you went on to talk about something else because you didn't want to answer that question. I said, hey, give me a reason. Give me something that would get people to watch Monday Night Raw.
Just because it's 3 hours doesn't mean to put on a sick quality programming.
Yeah,
Nitro was 3 hours.
But if WWE was
little
to
near
do
as
some
bad as
logic
what
stuff
Raw
like
is now.
Impact, I feel like you would grade Impact lighter. That's what I'm trying to get at, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like with Impact, like, you kind of let stuff...
Because I get the overall enjoyment to see. That's go back to preference. I get the overall better enjoyment in Impact than I do with WWE.
We're debating right now,
that's just how I feel.
But when we're debating right now, you defend everything about Impact and compared to if I mentioned
No, I do not defend.
Yes,
I mentioned Grado. That's full of stuff right there.
Yeah, but you weren't hating on it. You said it's just like when Santino's on.
Because there's no really reason to hate on it. It didn't really make me mad.
You was like, it's like Santino. It doesn't bother me. It's like like you said, like, oh, I.
You see right there,
huh?
I actually praise Santino. I didn't trash him.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, you
because it has a place.
Impact more than WWE right now
for what he did.
And you're biased towards Impact with some of the stuff that you defend. That's what you don't get. Like, how do you not think that you're not defending Impact way too hard compared to WWE?
Because Impact do less stupid shit than WWE. That's just what it is.
WWE equal.
They do less shit. They do less stupid shit than WWE does.
Like what?
I guess that's where you say the bias comes from. At least they're trying to put on an actual competent wrestler, and sometimes WWE don't even try. That's what sometimes you think
why WWE don't try then. Give me reasons, man. Give me solutions. I gave you
these random
reasons. I gave
lastly,
you
with
solutions.
the sisters. What kind of crap is that?
What?
Lastly, with the sisters. Who want to see that? Who writes that crap?
Dude, that was months ago, man. Give me credit.
What? Do you want to see that?
No,
Did you want to see that?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Is that it?
All right.
Is that more? Give me more.
Dude, there's a lot more I can name. I'm trying to think of an actual one that comes to mind. I mean, see, I don't hardly watch Raw as much, but when I see stuff like that, I say, what?
Then what would you do instead with Lashley if feuding with Sami Zayn?
Book him with Brock. The two badasses beat the crap out of each other.
And that wasn't the question. What would you do with Lashley versus Sami Zayn?
Make Lashley destroy him. Squash his ass.
Yeah, but what would be the lead? Because I said personally, just don't make Lashley laugh at him. Have it where he speared his stupid sisters, speared Sami Zayn, and there you go. That would have been much better than what we got.
They didn't have that segment there in the first place. I mean, what kind of money feud is that anyways? Who wanted to see that?
I don't know. Vince wanted to see it, I guess. He wanted Sami Zayn to get his ass
kicked before he took
surgery.
Okay, well.
But I'm just saying, how...
See, that's one of the problems lying.
If you were given a task...
Another problem lying right now.
Huh?
It seems like the creative crew is booking for themselves, not for the actual wrestler fan.
But let's just say that you also have to get the casual fan into it. How would you get the casual fan into Impact? Because I can tell you right now, I tried to show my friend Impact. He thought the LAX fight was too corny for him. He was like, "That's too much for me." he was like, "Dude, Chase, that's dumb." Yeah, he didn't like it too much. It wasn't bad for me as a wrestling fan. But I can see, like, when I showed it to him, he was just like, he's like, is this like the Leader Decay but worse? Like, that's what he said to me. And like, he said, like, yeah.
You said what?
Huh?
You said what?
He said, is it like the Leader Decay or worse? Like, is this like the Leader Decay but worse? That's what he said to me.
Leader of Decay?
Delete or Decay.
Oh, the Leader of Decay. I got you.
Look, I'm just saying, like, some stuff on Impact, yeah, you can show the casual fans. LAX Street Fight,
no, but the
that's
best
more
way
for wrestling fans.
The best way to do it is simply so your stars will look like ass kickers. That's the way to go. Like Brian Cage, like Moose, Kevin Cross. That's the best way you can do it. If you feature them as a big deal, that's how you can
But let's just
Make your
say
artists figure that.
let's just say EJ, you get here word. USA Network producers come up to you and says that EJ, we want to do this with Lashley, but right now USA really wants Sami Zayn to be featured. Whatever reason, USA producers, and that's another thing that you have to remember too, is that producers play a big role on who gets featured on television shows and stuff. Could you imagine yourself trying to book a Lesnar, not a Lesnar, a Lashley and Sami Zayn feud? How would you do that? That could be entertaining because it could be done. I mean, Sami Zayn's no
Only
slouch.
I wouldn't do it.
But Sami Zayn's no slouch. It's
I do not care for
I
Sami Zayn.
hate on Sami Zayn a lot, but I can give credit where credit's due. He can.
I've never seen any money on him. I can't do anything with him.
Wait,
what can you do? What is there? What is the appeal? What is the appeal with Sami Zayn? Please tell me, because I never understand the appeal of him. I could understand the appeal of Jericho. When Sami Zayn took the damn mask off, that was his last bit of appeal. Now he's just some goofball wearing a fucking golf hat, a taxi cab. What is that? That's garbage. That's garbage.
If Eli Drake did that, would you think it's garbage? Just curious.
Well, Eli Drake can get away with that because he's a pretty boy.
Yes,
yep. That's right. Looks matter in wrestling. It matters.
You saying Eli Drake has a
look? You think you can book? Can you book a jobber to play Stone Cold Steve Austin? You think he'll be successful? It don't work that way.
I don't know.
Can you book Seth Rollins to be The Rock?
And it worked.
Can you book Seth Rollins to be The Rock? See, all this stuff matters in wrestling. It's not just about wrestling ability. You have to look a certain part so fans can feel a certain way towards a certain person. That's always been part of wrestling.
Well, Sami Zayn has that every guy look that I guess wrestling fans like. So.
Oh no, every guy. Not every guy has the smiley, red hair, pasty face looking motherfucker. No, so that I disagree with that. He has like that
every guy look. Like it's just like he's like an every guy. He's like a random dude. Like fans like that for whatever reason.
No, I don't know why.
But I'm just saying, how would you book it? You're not giving it, dude. EJ, literally, you're like, nah, I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't book him because I don't see any money on him. He's trash.
So how would you make? I
can't do it. The only thing I'll book him is a 2-minute match where Lash destroys him. That's all I can think of.
Time out for a second.
I can't. Do you think it really makes any sense? Well, tell me, why would you book a Lashley Zayn match no longer than 2 minutes? For what reason? If Lashley hurt or he got sick, he had food poisoning or something. That's the only reason why I would have that match.
The reason it would be
longer than 2 minutes.
It would be kind of that Sami Zayn's running away from Lashley throughout the whole arena. That would be my only reasoning. Or it could be that Sami Zayn attacked Lashley from behind with a weapon before the match ran, and Sami Zayn's controlling the beginning portion
like
of the
that.
match. Yeah,
exactly. That's all I can think of.
I mean, because like I've seen Sami Zayn try to do competitive matches with Braun Strowman, the worst wrestler currently on the roster, and Sami Zayn.
Yeah, I think he's overrated. I don't think he's trash, but I think he's kind of overrated. I think his character is too cornered to try to book him as a monster overall, but I can't take him seriously. He does too much dumb shit.
Yeah,
to think, oh, he's a badass monster, but he's really not.
Yeah, no, that I can't take Braun Strowman. I think he just sucks. He's just trash. But when it comes down to it,
I've seen worse big.
Huh?
I've seen worse big men than him.
Well, no, I think Eric Rowan's the worst, but I'm just saying Braun Strowman's trash. Like, I'd rather take Mojo Rawley than Braun Strowman. I'd take Constable Corbin over Braun Strowman.
Oh, that's another guy. I think he's garbage, too. I never liked Corbin. It's just all terrible.
This is where you need to watch Raw. You would say, holy shit, I'm changing my mind on Corbin. He's still great. His gimmick of he's the guy that never was good enough to beat a guy, so he's now bosses the other guys around. Fucking money. I love it. It's just so good. He's like that jealous piece of shit that you want to hate, and it's just like, it works. I love it. It's great. It's actually money, dude. It's actually
but how you go from that? Or they try to make him some badass lone wolf guy, and then you become that?
But that's the whole point of the gimmick. That's the whole point of the gimmick, though, is that he failed to being that badass. He failed to being that big guy, so he had to kiss ass with.
Hey, he's just a goof now.
No, he's not a goof.
It's just a big old goof.
No, dude.
Wait, what is his name?
I bet you if Brian Cage did that, you would be like, man, look at what Impact trying to do with Brian Cage. You would love that.
Because Brian Cage can get away with that because he has the appeal.
Oh my god!
But they wouldn't even need to book him like that in the first place, though.
I'm just saying, holy shnikes, you're proving my point.
Come on, you comparing Cage to Corbin? Yeah. Dude got $1 million look, $1 million body. What does Corbin have? A tummy face. What's WWE had to cover it up? He could.
Nah, dude. Corbin's legit now. This is where you not watching WWE kind of puts you in a
Legit with what?
Dude, his
A
character's
legit
great.
what? What is it? Being a legit clown?
No, dude. Being a legit
I mean, what is?
actor.
Wait, what is his name? Constable Corbin? It's more like Constipated
No, now it's
Corbin.
GM Corbin, dude. Get it right. Hey, put some respect. Put some respect on GM Corbin's name, okay?
You need to keep a T-shirt over his body so he wants his tummy face.
Put some respect on GM Corbin's name. He's the GM now. Yeah, he's the GM. That's his gimmick.
God. Oh my God, that's even worse. That's even worse.
Damn, dude.
This is why I'm talking about the randomness for WWE.
The salt is real with you.
It's random stuff, but it's not good random. When it comes to WWE, sometimes the random stuff they do was good, but now when they do it now, it just
wait. How is this random? I gave you the reasoning why they're doing it.
Because it just happened. There was no plan to doing this with Corbin. You think a year ago they had this stuff planned with Corbin?
You think Impact had it planned a year ago that they were going to make Austin Aries their champion?
That's a different Austin being the champion. Comparing Corbin, he's just bad
like,
now he's a possible Corbin. I'm trying to keep the peace.
No, that's not his gimmick.
What kind of shit is that?
His gimmick was that he's a failed main event guy, so now you have to kiss ass to try to become.
But Constable, what does Constable mean though? What does Constable mean?
I think it's a made up word. I really think Vince is like, I like this word, Constable.
I think that means Constable means like something like keeping the peace or something like that. I don't know. That's what I thought.
I think Vince just likes the word, honestly. You know, Vince likes the certain words that wrestlers say and do and stuff like that. So I think he just likes the word, to be honest.
I think Corbin's garbage anyway, regardless of what gimmick they give him.
All right, man. Hey, dude. Yeah, I feel like so far, man, you proved my point that if I said it with Impact wrestlers, you'd be like, yeah, man, that's great. But with WWE wrestlers, you think it's trash. Like, do you just hate the wrestlers in WWE? Is that it?
No, I do not. That's not true at all.
It comes off like you do. Who do you like?
I like Rusev. I like Roman Reigns. I just they book his character terribly over the years. I think they book him like a jackass. You know, starting back 2015 with the beanstalk shit, Jack and the Beanstalk shit. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I like Brian Cage too. I just think that he's being booked really weirdly by Impact. My personal opinion. I bet you're gonna disagree and argue to Kingdom Come, but I just feel like you have him beat all these main event guys, and he's like dicking around in the X division. That's just not something that I would do with Brian Cage.
Well, they're trying to slowly build him. They're not gonna see. The thing is, they're not gonna try to rush him to the world title. They're gonna try to build him up as a force, like an overall big force. It's not like, he's going to run through everybody. It's like they're trying to build credibility while.
Well, the problem is if you do that if you wait too long on that, it becomes where matchups versus guys that he's already faced don't become interesting because we've seen him face everyone already. Do you understand what I'm saying there, or no? Or is that something that you're going to argue too?
He has to face Austin Aries. He has to face the champion.
No, but
they can put that about the
there you go. Like you just, I feel like I feel like you just don't like listening to like what I say at all. To be honest, right now.
What do you mean?
Like I'm just saying, if you build it, like the point of pushing him super fast and having him win the title right away, it's that way you get these fresh, interesting matchups already. And if you wait too long on it, he's already faced everyone. So
but I don't think they have to do that though to make him a big deal though. I mean, with a guy like him, you don't have to push him in one certain way.
No, I don't understand how how he beats Lashley twice and now he's like X Division. Just saying, it's kind of weird.
Well, the thing, Lashley, he was on his way out the company.
Yeah, but wouldn't you say if Cage beat Lashley?
That was the best guy to beat him.
This is where I
to beat Lashley.
Like EJ, I don't understand how you defend all of Impact's booking, man. Do you hate?
So what was wrong with Cage beating Lashley?
No, it's fine because Lashley's on his way out. But you are sitting here like, yeah, it's okay with him being X Division champion. I feel like it's all right. Oh yeah. Don't you see, Chase, what they're trying to do with Impact? With
so what's the problem?
No. Hold up.
What's Samoa Joe?
Hold up. Let me talk real quick, please. See,
Right?
I say I don't like that, and you're already defending, and it's just like, hey, dude, like I told you the reason why Corbin's the GM, and instead of you like seeing like, oh, I understood that, or okay, that's all right for a storyline, you're here defending where I just like say, oh,
Because
I
I
don't
think
like.
Corbin is garbage. It's
So you
preference.
hate a
I
wrestler,
never really cared
but
for him.
even with wrestlers, I hate Austin Aries. I don't like that he's world champion, but I put up with it. I
If
think
I
that.
if I don't like a certain wrestler, why would I care about what he's doing?
All right,
The
that's
same thing with Cody
that's where we
Rhodes.
differ 100%.
I think Cody Rhodes is garbage. Nobody what he does. I'm not gonna pretend like he's with the Bullet Club now or all of a sudden he has this big pay-per-view selling out. That doesn't mean I'm gonna like Cody Rhodes. I still think he's a trash ass wrestler.
I'm just talking about when it comes to booking and trying to solve solutions for a company. I feel like having an unbiased opinion is part of the deal, though.
But the thing is Corbin gonna draw any money? Is this new character?
Is Austin Aries drawing money?
What difference gonna make? Who?
Is Austin Aries drawing money?
Well, there's not a certain.
Is Austin Aries drawing money? He's the world champion. Is Austin Aries drawing money?
You tell me.
Not really. Seems kind of stagnant. Same shit.
Well, the thing is, the Impact. You see, what you have to realize, the Impact is trying to rebuild himself. They're not necessarily trying to find. They're not at the point of one certain dude can draw right now.
Well, how can you use that?
It's trying to rebuild the brand.
How can you use that argument for like Baron Corbin, who is like a mid card, maybe main eventer for the WWE, compared to Impact's?
He's not even a mid card. What mid card he is? What mid card?
See, here I hate Austin Aries, but you don't see me trying to say, oh, he's a 205 Live piece of shit that's world champion right now, not drawing you any dimes.
That's your opinion.
You're comparing your world champion though to a mid carder. And pretty much you're saying your world champion draws just as much as the mid-carder. And then you try to say Impact is rebuilding, so that's the reason. Even if a company is rebuilding or rebranding, it doesn't mean that it's like okay for them to do it. I mean, Impact's been around for how long, man? 16 years. 16 years this company's been around.
They're a
$1 million company. And we're saying
it don't matter. Okay, they're $1 million company, and yet they're filling in the seats. Why the excuse? Because they have money. See, this is the thing. They're the top dog. But why they have an excuse when they're the business? Why they're not filling as many people?
But like there's no excuse why WWE should not be selling out shows. They shouldn't be tarping shows at all. It's stupid.
Okay, so the fan base WWE is no comparison to any other company, including Impact. So why are you concerned about if Austin Aries drawing money?
No, you're the one that's asked that Baron Corbin draws money, and so I added retort.
But you going on talking about about Corbin's booking? Oh, they're booking him as this and that. What is that difference going to make for the company? Is he making more people watch Raw with this new character?
Maybe. I don't know. Raw got a good rating last week. Maybe it was the Shield that did most of that rating work. But yeah, the Raw got a good rating.
The Shield. Oh, the Shield. I thought that was about Corbin.
No, I'm just saying maybe. Maybe some people are finding Corbin. I've noticed more people have turned with Corbin than against Corbin.
I highly doubt that. I mean, sometimes you could also check out the YouTube videos of certain people and see if they're actually drawing or not. Sometimes you can go by that. You know, I don't know. This is my opinion. I don't know if you do that.
Oh, no, I do. I make that argument all the time that Reigns gets YouTube views. That's why they like him. Strowman barely gets YouTube views sometimes. He gets stuck at 200,000. Reigns gets like 1 million if he does something. Hell, Reigns can come out kind of promo. Yeah, Reigns got 1 million actually for just coming out and saying my yard now. So.
Yeah, that's what I say. All these people who claim, they hate him, yet you still giving them his attention, whether they boom or whatever.
Well, he's the top guy.
I don't understand that.
Well, it's not that the people that hate him watch him. It's just that Reigns catches casual eyes. He's a casual eye catcher. If a casual is watching,
definitely,
that's the thing.
Hell of a look, man.
The only person that Impact has that's a casual eye catcher is Moose. Moose is that one guy where you casually are watching, and you're like, oh,
I disagree with that. I mentioned Cage.
Nah, Cage Cage
And
has the thing is with Cage, he's an eye catcher because he's so big and he does crazy stuff. But like Moose, there's like a certain aura and charisma about him where a casual fan will actually want to sit down and watch the rest of his match. Once you're watching like Cage taking bumps from like the little guys, and then like Cage is like the thing about Cage, he's one of those guys where his matches, he needs to rev into gear. Moose doesn't really need to rev into gear to get someone watching. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but it's just more of like the aura of Moose. You can sit down, you're watching the TV, you turn to a Moose match, and you're like, oh shit, this is awesome. Oh, who's this guy? He's coming out, getting the fans going, Moose.
Yeah, I got you.
You know? Like, Cage is like, it takes a while before you start seeing him do all that crazy shit. Like, Cage is more of like near the end, like Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins and Brian Cage are very comparable in this. They're only good near the end of their matches. In the beginning...
No, not really. Cage is more of a powerhouse than Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins does more of high-flying stuff.
No, I'm talking about when it comes to eye-catching.
Overpower people. He's not just...
When it comes to eye-catching stuff, most of their good stuff is near the end of their matches, not really in the beginning. The beginning of their matches are a little bit slower paced.
Cage... See, the thing with Cage is he can be unpredictable. Sometimes he can outpower people, or sometimes he can do some high-flying shit. Like he does it in Lucha Underground.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying Cage like
randomly do cruiserweight shit.
Like I'm just saying,
how the fuck can he do that?
It takes a while for Cage's offense to get going. While Moose, it doesn't really.
Not really. Not from what I look at.
So you don't think once you see Cage start doing all this crazy high flying stuff near the end of his matches, that's not eye catching near the end? You think in the beginning Cage, when he's grappling with the wrestler, doing the usual I'm the bigger guy military press crap, that's eye catching?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm sorry. My friends watching that.
How is it not?
I feel like you want to get to the point sometimes with casual fans, and that's the thing with Reigns. That a lot of his matches can get to the point. Like Reigns doesn't need to have it where he has to wrestle a long match to get to the point. Some of Reigns' best matches are with Lesnar, and all he does is Superman punches and spears in the
I kind of agree with it. Sometimes Reigns sometimes it's a little slow with him. Sometimes he makes a little comeback with the little punches and all that. Sometimes it gets, not all the time, but it is sometimes. I don't know, but maybe the crowd gets to me or whatever when I watch his matches. And sometimes he's selling to his opponent, and then maybe sometimes he sells too much. And all of a sudden, he starts spamming these moves, doing the punches and the drive-by kick and all that. You don't know. I know. I just prefer Cage a little bit more, in my opinion, than Reigns.
I just think Moose is the main casual guy. Like he's like the casual guy that people are like, yeah, this guy's awesome. Like I can see that. Pentagon.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's too many luchadors out there nowadays. Like it's just. I like Pentagon. I think he's a major star for any company that he goes to. It's just that he like for me, there's only a few wrestlers nowadays that catch the casual people's eye. I think it's Roman Reigns. I think it's Pentagon. Not Pentagon. I think.
But what's up for Cross? Cross doesn't do any high flying shit. It's more of a ground base. If you see his actual matches.
Yeah, the problem is he hasn't really wrestled yet that much in Impact yet. Like I know his matches from AAA.
Yeah, that's the thing. But
you forget that I watch the Lucha stuff. I think you forget that I'm a huge Lucha fan too.
What's that?
I think you forget that I'm a huge just Lucha fan in general. Like I watch CMLL, I watch AAA and shit like that. So like I know what Killer Cross does. Like I know I've seen Brian Cage a lot more than a lot of people. He's definitely improved. Maybe that's why my opinion on Brian Cage is a little bit different than a lot more. Is because I've seen Brian Cage when he was green and he wasn't like who he is now. Like I like Brian Cage.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that Moose is like for me personally, and I've seen Moose in ROH and he had the same feeling with me with ROH. He wasn't the best wrestler in ROH, but he was the most eye-catching wrestler. And I feel like with wrestlers nowadays, like, there's only 3 wrestlers that are eye-catching like that. That's Moose, Roman Reigns, and Kenny Omega. Those are the only 3 wrestlers that I think eye-catch super easy with casual fans.
Honestly, I prefer Tanahashi over Kenny Omega. That's my opinion.
Well, I'm talking about casual fans. I'm not talking about hardcore fans. I'm talking about casuals.
Well, you talking about wrestling style, right? Like that's.
If we're going wrestling style, I don't know how you can't love what Ishii does. Ishii just goes in and rams people and shit.
Oh yeah, he's I like him too. I don't know how he does that shit.
Yeah, no, he just goes in and he brawls.
I guess that's why they nick him the Stone Pitbull for a reason.
Yeah, I know. He just brawls. I prefer Okada over Omega. I'm just saying, for the casual fan, they just see a V trigger and it just gets like, oh shit, that's awesome and shit like that. Like I can show someone.
I think it does those too much.
Well, yeah, because he's understanding. Like, hey, this is what I have to do once I sign that WWE contract. So he knows what he's doing. If you don't think, I think Kenny Omega is going to WWE. He's going to make that money. He's done wrestling these 8-star matches for Meltzer. It's time for him to just be complacent, make a bunch of money in WWE, and be WWE champion. That's it. It's time for him to be complacent.
Yeah, it won't surprise me if that does happen. You know.
I mean, hey, I'm good. I'm all for. I don't know if you're all for wrestlers cashing in checks and doing what they need to do to make money. That's what I'm in. I know Lashley's not complacent. It's just that this is not the position he thought he would be in, and that's not really his fault. Yeah. It's more booking fault. You know, Lashley thought that this was going to go somewhere else, but he's just such a hard. Like the thing about Lashley, why I respect him and why I tell people don't worry about him, he works hard and he's someone that can get through bullshit. Like Sami Zayn versus Bobby Lashley.
Exactly.
Zayn versus
Lashley. He's always been a hard worker. That's what he's always been a hard worker. When you think he was going to be down, he thought he was not going to do nothing. Then he ended up doing this stuff in MMA, and then eventually he got back into wrestling through TNA, and then that's what built him up to end up going back to WWE because all the stuff he did after leaving there.
Well, because like the thing is too, like Lashley and Zayn, there's this match at Extreme Rules. It's an okay match. Fans were not into it whatsoever. Lashley started to do certain offensive moves and stuff like that. Fans got up to their seat. And I was just like, this is why Lashley's considered a good wrestler. When people try to argue that Lashley's not a good wrestler, he got a dead match with Sami Zayn to get people to kind of care about him.
I never understood that he was always a good wrestler.
It's sad now because he's been booked very, very shady, but it is what it is. Like, you know, he signed the contract, so, but I feel like he's going to bounce back. That's why when people go like, oh, man, you know, Lashley's in trouble, I go, nah, man, I think he's going to be fine because all it takes is the thing about WWE.
Yeah, because a guy like Lashley, you really can't, no matter what you do with him, because he look at him. I mean, dude's $1 million.
Yeah, but the thing
even though he doesn't have necessarily the best mic skills, but he doesn't really need that. You know,
the thing is that WWE has an advantage over most wrestling companies is that they can do one thing, and fans will start giving a shit if they do one thing. See, like the Nexus.
Exactly, yeah.
See the Nexus. That Raw was terrible, that episode. All of a sudden, the fucking Nexus came out. These jobbers from NXT came out, beat up all these main eventers. And all of a sudden, these jobbers were main eventers. You know, that's what WWE can do. They can do that with anything. Punk's pipe bomb. Yeah. Punk was just a mid-card little loser that was going to walk out of the company. All of a sudden, he says hi to Colt Cabana, and now he was a main eventer. You know, the freaking Shield breaking up. Yeah. Seth Rollins was a mid-carder. He breaks up with the Shield main event. That's what WWE has over all these companies, is that they're able to do one thing and get someone over just like that. People will be like, I've always been a fan of this guy. Look at the Miz. Miz was dwindling on SmackDown. He gets that promo on Daniel Bryan and stuff like that. Everyone's like, I've been a Miz fan since day one. That's the only advantage WWE has over most companies. Because like the thing is,
I like the Miz.
Oh no, the Miz is good. I'm just saying like that's the only thing WWE has advantage of any company. Because like I feel like when Impact / just based off TNA's history, I say TNA by default because their bad history is mostly under the name TNA. When TNA tried to do shit like that, it was 50-50. Sometimes it'd be really good, like Kurt Angle coming to the company, Sting making his debut, or something like that. Sometimes it'd be good. Then other times it'd be like Devon is the lead, is in the Aces of Eights, Tito Ortiz August 1st and stuff like that. Like TNA cannot do that. New Japan can't even do that.
Yeah, that was a clusterfuck there. The stuff with Aces and Eights. It looked like it had the potential to be something. Then
I'll admit, to this very day, I still defend.
It just went down too fast.
I still defend Lockdown though. I still defend Bully Ray revealing himself he was the leader. I love that segment. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, that was actually good. I like
that. People can shit on Ace and Eights, but I still love Bully Ray revealing he's the leader because I was fooled. I was like, oh, what? He's the leader? Like, I don't know how I got fooled. I should have known, Bully Ray's the leader. It makes sense. Like, I honestly thought it was another Jeff Hardy, LOL, I'm going to beat you in the pay-per-view and stuff like that. I'm Jeff Hardy, so fuck you. I'm TNA champ. we're building up whoever. Like I honestly did not know who was going to be the leader. I
Yeah.
thought AJ Styles was probably going to be the leader, most likely. And then all of a sudden, when Bully Ray revealed he was the leader, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I fucked you, Brooke." I was like, "Dude, this is the greatest scene ever, dude. I love this guy." They ruined it because they gave Chris Sabin the title in the middle, which was stupid. Like Chris Sabin's world title reign is
that was dumb.
The dumbest, most forgettable world title reign in Impact Wrestling history. I don't care what anyone says. You can shit on EY for copying Daniel Bryan.
I can agree with that.
Huh?
I can agree with that. I never cared for Chris Sabin winning that title.
It was like so random. It was just like, oh well, Austin Aries last year completed option C, so it feels like
it was random, and it looked like he didn't even deserve it.
Who?
Like,
Chris Sabin? Yeah, no, it was just like it was like, oh, we're taping, so we gotta spoil it.
It wasn't like when Austin Aries won the title a year before. You know, because he had more momentum going behind him than when Sabin did it. It just he won, so what, man?
Well, because he just lost that. It was almost like I said, they kind of did it because they were saying, "Oh man, we got to keep Option C alive. We can't just ruin Option C after 1 year." You know, that's the reason why I felt like
I think that's what it was.
Like it was so dumb. It was like, no, you can have someone fill Option C. Like Bully Ray is hot right now. Why the fuck would you give the title statement? Like people can shit. Like people will be like, Eric Young was the worst champion ever. Yes, Eric Young copied Daniel Bryan, not the worst champion ever. It was a pure copy and paste.
That time in TNA, that was a horrible time for TNA. That was a pure champion.
Yeah, but that was a pure copy and paste. But Eric Young is not the worst champion.
Yeah, I'm glad they give the belt back to Lashley because I actually stopped watching Impact around that time because I never really cared for Eric Young.
Oh, I always liked Eric Young. I didn't mind that he was champion. It was clearly copying and pasting Daniel Bryan. It was like we copied it.
But that was one of the reasons right there. It looked ridiculous.
And then Magnus was champion.
Around that time I made a comparison, and because you remember John Jones was the UFC light heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
And I made an actual comparison to Eric Young and Daniel Bryan. I say, you see these two goofball wrestlers, and you see a battle like John Jones. What money are you going to pay for? What do you think the cast is going to pay for to watch between those three?
Maybe. Well, John Jones most likely, yeah, because like Daniel Bryan just has a WWE name. John Jones is he's kind of weird looking, so it's just like this guy can actually fight against like a fat guy like Daniel Cormier, so yeah, like John Jones definitely. I would say compared him more to Connor, because like Connor's like a goofy small guy too, but he's a goofy small guy with personality. It's not like
exactly.
It's not like Conor McGregor's a boring guy. Because see, for me, I feel like size, and here's the thing, I think size does matter to some degree in wrestling. But I feel like with combat sports like UFC and boxing, the size scene has kind of like ruined it for wrestling in a sense because a lot of the big draws now are smaller dudes. Like boxing went from like the Muhammad Ali's, Mike Tyson's, Evander Holyfields and shit like that to like the De La Hoyas, the Arturo Gotti's, the Mickey Wards, the fucking Floyd Mayweather's, Manny Pacquiao and stuff like that. And like even like some of the hype prospects, like we got Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua maybe coming up. Like if that ever fucking happens, I doubt it will because Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, wrestling never took advantage of that.
Huh?
Wrestling really took advantage of that.
Yeah, well, because like the smaller guys like took over. Because like you look at the smaller guys in UFC, who are the big names? Conor McGregor, Khabib. But Khabib's only really big name because of Conor. Nate Diaz, he's a big name and stuff like that. Georges St. Pierre, he's like 170, but he can also fight at 155. He said. So it's like, those are smaller guys. Those aren't like the big heavyweights. Like Stipe Miocic was like world champ, was as long as a world champ as Brock Lesnar. No one gave a fuck about him. Like my friend, we were watching that Modelo commercial. I don't know if you've seen this commercial, his Modelo commercial and stuff like that. Have you seen Stipe Miocic's Modelo commercial or no? Or have you seen it at all? I don't think it's been spread a lot besides.
What it consists of?
It was like Stipe Miocic does this, hard work and everything like that. But at the end of the day, I think I did know that. Yeah, like that. My friend goes, "Who the fuck is Stipe Miocic?" And I was like, "He's the world champion." He's like, "For UFC?" Oh, I thought it was still Cain Velasquez. Like even Cain Velasquez has more name value than fucking Stipe Miocic right now. Like I'm just being real here. Like that's the thing. I feel like
I like Stipe.
No, he's a great fighter.
But I think he didn't really have the personality.
No, he has no personality
to really carry UFC, even if he was the heavyweight champion.
No, he has no personality. He's like, you can't understand what he's saying.
Yeah,
Subtitles.
he's too much of a blue collar worker. You know, he doesn't have that. I think because it's serious demeanor, but I think he's a little. It hurted him because he's always been serious.
Yeah,
you know, with him,
he's not funny serious. It's like Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah, it's not funny. You can be funny serious.
Like Jeremy Stevens, after he's like, right here, I'm the #1 guy to knock out Connor. Connor's like, who the fuck is this guy? Jeremy Stevens didn't get all pissed off and mad about it. He laughs it off. Like, he's like, yeah, you know, I'm who the fuck is this guy and stuff like that. And more fans know about Jeremy Stevens because he's the guy that Connor went, who the fuck is this guy? Compared to fucking Stipe, because Stipe mumble talks, says, I want to put anyone, give me anyone. Like, you can't understand what the motherfucker's saying.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's the thing, though. But, like, yeah, I feel like nowadays, like, size, it's, like, such a debate in wrestling where it's, like, to me personally, like, I feel like it does matter from a believability thing, but kind of Lesnar's current reign former reign as Universal Champion kind of proved that people didn't give a fuck if a big guy was world champion. Like, I feel like it's more of, like, name value matters more than size at this point in time when it comes to wrestling champions. Because Lesnar, he's like one of the, like, before USADA's testing him, like before when he could take his steroids and shit. You know, he was big. Now he's like normal size and shit like that.
Yeah,
he's still kind of freakish. It's just that Lesnar looks like, you know, people make the excuse for him. You know, Lesnar's one of the only few guys ever to cut down to heavyweight in UFC history. Like, no other guy really does that. Heavyweights normally just fight at heavyweights because their fat asses don't want to lose weight. You know, people are making up the excuse that he's, like, probably trying to trim and everything like that. And, you know, that's bullshit. For me personally, it's just, like, I'm not going to say, like, look, if he passes clean on USADA, he passes clean. I don't know all these other tests that he's been taking by WWE's doctors. It is what it is. Like, I'm not going to assume someone's on steroids until I see the steroid list. Like Johnny Nitro when he got caught on the steroid list. Batista when he got caught on the steroid list. You know, when all those Bamas, Rey Mysterio when he got caught on the steroid list. You know, like, that's when I'll say, yeah, they're roiding up. You know, and stuff like that.
See, that was one of the black guys at WWE throughout the years. That, and then what happened, the Dusty Eddie, and then Benoit doing the shit he did.
Yeah. And then, like, that steroid list came out. So many guys, like, Edge was on that list. Like, so many main eventers, too. Like, it sucked. It was bad.
Those were big.
Was Orton? I think Orton was on that list. I'm not 100% sure if he was. I know he's done marijuana.
Wasn't Edge also on that list, too?
Yeah, no, Edge and Batista were, like, the two big names. And, yeah, Batista didn't get punished. Batista won the world title that Sunday.
Yeah, that's some shit there.
He won won it. Can you imagine Reigns was on that list today? How many wrestling fans would be like, "Oh, look at you steroids if you give it to Reigns."
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that's why with Lesnar, I don't say shit, but, you know, you can only say, like, this guy this big. No way the fucker is not on steroids or something. But to me personally, man, like, I feel like size at this point in time, just because of other combat sports and the dominance of some of the smaller guys in combat sports, I feel like today size doesn't really matter in wrestling. Like, heavyweights are important, and I like heavyweight battles more than seeing a bunch of, like, same shit. I feel like the problem is all these light wrestlers, they do the same shit, so it doesn't stand out more. Like, it's like nowadays it's like, I don't give a fuck if you can do all this, like, luchador crap, because I can see Seth Rollins, who's like a heavyweight, can do the same shit, and it's like, I don't really care about that. Like, I'd rather take someone like Elias, who's like kind of like a throwback, where he's not really good of a wrestler.
The only flack I had with Seth Rollins, he does that superplex Falcon Arrow combination. That's not a finisher, and he does that shit almost every match, and the opponent just kicks out.
Man, dude,
imagine him doing that shit back in the 80s.
That's the indie theme though. That's how wrestlers wrestle. They wrestle too indie. They wrestle too.
Yeah, I hate that though. It looks ridiculous.
That's why I say with Impact, the one thing I'll give them credit for is for all they'll have that stupid indie match on their show every week, but then there's at least one match where it's like for everyone, where it's not like, oh yeah, like we need to watch like honestly, like Phoenix versus Sami Callihan, that's a fucking indie match. I don't care what anyone says. It was a good opening match, but it's a fucking indie match. Like, much rather watch fucking.
Yeah, I don't mind the opening matches are like that, you know.
Yeah,
but if that's a theme of the show, that's a different story.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I'm just saying, like that's an indie match, like that. But that's the thing with Impact is that Impact actually like has it where it's like for wrestling fans, it's not just like bunch of good carny indie matches. You know, it's just like because like New Japan. My complaint with New Japan a lot of times is that they have the same fucking style. Like every match is always supposed to be epic and Bushido and tapping into the fucking Warriors way and reach your new power level and bullshit. And it's like, you know, unless like
I can agree with that too.
Yeah, you know, like that's just too much. Like, you know, like it's like I would rather take a wrestler.
But I'm glad they have no chance. Like you know, Toru Yano. You know, he's a kind of a comedy type character.
He's good. Like
sometimes you need that change of pace, you know.
Yeah, like Juice Robinson. He's not the best wrestler in New Japan, but he's decent because of his change of pace. It just pisses me off when I see like, losers like Jay White try to wrestle like they're main eventers, and clearly they're not main eventers. They just suck and stuff like that.
Man, hey, guess what? I actually like him.
Oh man, I can never. You can like. He's trash.
I'm down with the Switchblade.
No, I hate Switchblade.
Oh.
Switchblade's trash. I can't
the dude look like a downright dude like a psycho though. No. Sometimes that different, that unique look sometimes works. You may think, he's a fucking nerd, a dork, or whatever.
You know what he looks like?
Did you see him in shoot interviews?
He looks like Jimmy Jacobs when Jimmy Jacobs was first starting in the Indies. That's what he looks like to me.
No, he's bigger than Jimmy Jacobs, though.
No, he looks just like Jimmy Jacobs. Or he looks like Seth Rollins. He looks like Colin Delaney and Jimmy Jacobs had a kid. And that's fucking Switchblade right there. That's Jay White. Colin Delaney and Jimmy Jacobs.
I don't think it's that bad.
He looks like a goof. I can't take him seriously. He had a bad match.
I actually like better than Cody Rhodes, though.
Huh?
At least
how is he better than Cody Rhodes? No. Switchblade is not better than Cody Rhodes.
I get more out of him than Cody Rhodes. What?
Cody Rhodes actually can tell a story. Cody can tell a story. Switchblade's only story is like, hey, I do edgy shit.
What story?
He can tell any story.
Well, that's part of wrestling. That's part of wrestling, though.
Yeah, but all his stories are that I do edgy shit. It's boring and stupid. I'd rather watch Sammy Callahan with a baseball bat than Switchblade.
The match between him and Minoru Suzuki, that was badass to me in that G1 tournament. That was because of Suzuki.
That had nothing to do with Switchblade.
Yeah. Yes, it did. Because the psychology between wrestlers. It worked.
Suzuki said, hey, stop being a bitch. And then Jay White's like, I can't. And then Suzuki's like, well, I'll make you a man for one match. That was it. That was the story I was seeing being told.
So how you beat up Tanahashi, though? I love that.
That's like the same.
How you beat Tanahashi and Okada?
No. That was the beginning of the G1. That was when they were trying to force him down our throats. And then New Japan realized, oh no, he sucks. We can't do this.
No, man, that was planned from the start. I mean, they tried to build him as you think he was a threat. But, you know, in actuality, he was way over his head. You know, that's building. That's his story. That's the building.
No, this is what I think happened. Gato was backstage like, oh, no, fans don't like Switchblade much. That's just
the boys. They play way Ghetto New Japan. They play way in advance of what they want to do.
No, I think Gato just realized that he sucks and then said no.
I doubt that.
You can't change my opinion about Jay White's just bad. He's like the worst. I ain't changed
opinion, but I just disagree. I don't think he's complete garbage.
I think Cody Rhodes is way better than Jay White.
I get nothing out of Cody Rhodes. Never did. Just like he's too small to be a lightweight, and he's not big enough to be a heavyweight. So what is he actually is? He can't fly moves. If he try to do a moonsault, he ends up rotating out of place, and he almost look like he's about to kill himself.
No, dude, you gotta watch more Cody matches. He's much better than.
And he can't outpower. He's too small to outpower any heavyweight wrestlers. I mean, what do you get? I never get anything out of Cody Rhodes' match. Never did. I never got nothing out of him.
Versus Rey Mysterio.
His promos are trash too.
What? Oh no, better than fucking Jay White.
Name me one good Cody Rhodes promo. Name me one good Cody Rhodes promo, please.
His dashing promos were pretty funny. Then the Cody Rhodes promo when he
I never got nothing out of that.
Then his promo when Rey Mysterio broke his face. That promo was really damn good. Then that one where he brought out
probably
Dusty.
the only slight.
But then when he brought out Dusty, and then Dusty turned on Rey, that was a good promo. And then Cody's promo when he got fired, he's like, they made my brother dress in paint and everything. That was a good Cody promo. Cody's had some good promos, man. Like
that's all he had. That's all he got going. His family history. I mean, what his father did, what his brother did, but what about him? No one really cares for him.
I care for Cody Rhodes. I think he's a good wrestler.
Nah.
Way better than Jay White. Jay White.
I get more than Jay White. The Switchblade. I'm down with the Switchblade, man.
What about Jay White is good? What about him is good? He does edgy shit in the ring. He does. He's a goofy carny. He almost killed Jim Ross. All his promos he has to curse in to make a big deal. What else? He just screams jobber. Like I don't see how Jay White is a main eventer. He's like the definition of mediocrity in wrestling.
I never say he was a main eventer.
He's beating Tanahashi and Okada, and he seems like he's going to replace Kenny Omega.
I mean, the upset, but that doesn't mean to push him to the title. I'm not saying that. I mean, it just like sometimes he fits that mold that you may think, he can't do this. And then all of a sudden he did. It's like, that's the Switchblade. That's the Switchblade effect. You turn your back on him, boom, you get one right in the back. You know, that's the kind of vibe I get to him. You know, it's not necessarily his wrestling ability or. Sometimes that's what I get at wrestlers sometimes. It's not about how good they wrestle or how many moves they can do.
No. What I get out of Jay White is that he's a minnow in a fucking ocean, and there's too much sharks for him to handle. He's just not ready for me.
Bro, he got a Switchblade.
Huh?
He said he's going to kill one of them motherfuckers.
No, dude.
He'll go down fighting. That's what I see in him.
Here's the thing. There's been wrestlers that I've hated that have turned me around. Seth Rollins, I used to hate Tyler Black. I used to say this guy is not anything whatsoever. Now I like Seth Rollins. Maybe Jay White could do that. But for me personally, right now, Jay White is nowhere near on Cody Rhodes' level. Because if you were to tell me if Jay White was to do All In with the Young Bucks, would that shit sell out?
Of course not, because even though Cody Rhodes sucks ass, more people know who he is than Jay White. Jay White's barely a new prospect.
Cody Rhodes helped the Bullet Club out of obscure irrelevancy. Because the Bullet Club was like irrelevant until Cody Rhodes joined.
About that?
Yeah, Bullet Club was like, what was Bullet Club doing before Cody Rhodes joined? What was Bullet Club doing? They were like barely selling T-shirts. Once Cody came into the scene, it helped Bullet Club out. It made Cody Rhodes feel like he was the big deal. And that's the reason why, like, people go like, that's why uneducated New Japan fans, they go like, Kenny and Cody's feud makes no sense. Oh, it's so stupid. No, the whole point was that Cody was supposed to be the big star. Kenny Omega was just the indie darling. The indie darling took over the big star, and now the big star is jealous. That was the whole point of the storyline. I don't know how people didn't see that. Yeah, people like bitch about it and say, it's the worst feud ever. It's like, look, it's not the best executed feud. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Kenny Omega dressing up as a bear to attack Cody Rhodes was kind of fucking stupid. But, like, and then also getting kissed by his hot wife and he was acting like it was the weirdest scene on planet Earth. Yeah, that was stupid. But I'm just saying.
All that. I was really never behind the Bullet Club. I mean, I used to like the Tongan side. I used to like them. I still like them.
Here's an example. People don't know this. I used to be a huge Prince Devitt guy. I love Prince Devitt. I thought Finn Balor was going to be, or Finn Balor, whatever the fuck his name is, was going to be a main eventer in WWE.
Oh yeah, because he was better. He was better in New Japan than what they're doing now with WWE.
I hate him now. I can't stand him. He comes out, he smiles, like, unless he's wearing the paint, I could give two shits about this loser. But he comes out, and he's all
They
smiling.
ruined that too. They ruined the best thing that they could do with him, and they fucked that up. I mean, how could you fuck that up with the demon shit? It don't matter whether he's on a demon now because you fucked that up. Look at this goofy dude. Instead, you could try to make an actual character with him. They just do random shit with him, and then even when whether he smiles or come with the demon, no one's gonna care. No one's gonna take him seriously. And the fact that you made him look like a fucking jobber more times than he should have been winning. See, all that comes into play. And see, that's one of the reasons with WWE right now, it just some of the stuff they do. I just don't understand the point.
See, for me personally, I'm fine with Finn Balor. They don't trust him because he got injured in that SummerSlam match, so they're not going to try to push him right away. I just don't understand how come the Demon shows up for fucking Constable Corbin. And I like Corbin, but, like, that's not a threat to the Demon.
He showed up in a random match. Even though the regular Smiley Finn Balor can beat Corbin's punk ass. I mean, what difference does it make?
Yeah, if Corbin beat him at the previous pay-per-view and it felt like Finn Balor was being pushed to his edge, because, like, the Demon was supposed to be something that pushes Finn to the edge. You know? Like, remember that Bray Wyatt promo? He was like, you made me go into my demon state and stuff like that. And like, the only thing that they've done with Finn Balor with the character that was interesting was before he fought AJ Styles, they're like, oh, is the Demon fighting AJ Styles? And they're like, yeah, because Finn Balor can't revert back to being the regular human because he was getting ready to fight Sister Abigail. I was like, wow, they actually continued the story, making sense of why the Demon has to fight AJ Styles, because he can't just become not the Demon. He's already in Demon form. That makes sense to me. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Yeah, you know, like, you know. That makes sense. But it's like nowadays, like, I don't know what pisses off the Demon anymore. Like, the Demon just comes out, like,
you can't figure out what the purpose of the Demon is because they never really explained it.
Because they had Finn Balor, like, all of a sudden, you know, he was happy that Baron Corbin gave him a fun house. He was excited. It didn't piss him off. He didn't say anything. Like, literally, it was just that Baron Corbin was being a bully. He just said Finn's small. He just pointed out a fact. It wasn't like Baron Corbin was being that much of a dick. He was just saying, hey, you're small. What's wrong with that? I don't see anything wrong with that. He's just telling the truth. Finn's a small dude. Like, but no. But yeah, I know. So I just feel sometimes.
That's what Balor was actually good. I could have get behind. It doesn't mean if I really liked them, but they could have really do something more with the Demon stuff, and they didn't. And now I really give two shits about him.
He's like, someone's like Bobby Roode's the biggest bust in WWE history. I say Finn Balor.
Oh my God! Don't get me started. Oh man, Roode. It doesn't make any sense. This guy looks like another $1 million guy, and then relegating to a job. He's on the biggest show. I don't understand. Because what he did in TNA. I don't know what.
Let's not pull what they did in TNA.
I love his gimmick too.
But let's not pull like, oh, WWE doesn't push TNA, guys. AJ Styles is the longest reigning champion in SmackDown history. He's pulling a John.
Oh yeah, outside of AJ, what else? What other TNA made guy that felt a big deal?
Samoa Joe, before he got injured a couple times, he's been doing good. He feuded with Lesnar, something that fans.
Yeah, but I remember that one match he actually lost to Rusev when he was jobbing. He's still jobbing, Rusev. And even though I like both guys, you know, it's just kind of weird. It's something like they want to book Samoa Joe as a credible guy, and then they do random stuff.
I mean, this current Joe feud where he's telling Wendy that he's your daddy, he's the new daddy of AJ Styles' kid, is pretty good. I like it. I mean,
me too.
I'm just saying, like, Samoa Joe, like, he's a guy that, you know, he's done better than what I expected.
Yeah, but what they could do? They could do so much better with Roode. It doesn't make any sense.
No, Roode.
Look at the dude, man.
Well, because they don't put him as a heel because they're afraid that his theme song is going to get over, and it makes no sense. Like, no one sings the theme song anymore. I really think they don't put him on because they're afraid of the stupid theme song. Like, they're just like, oh, we don't want this theme song to get over. Give him a new fucking theme song then. Who cares?
Then why give him the song then?
Well, because people were gonna bitch about it if, like, they take away the theme song. Because that was the thing that worked in NXT, was that he was an asshole glorious one and stuff like that. But, like, you know,
yeah.
Like, to me, Roode's still good.
I don't even. Is he still a heel or is he face? I don't even know.
No, he's a baby face. That's the problem. He should be a heel.
But see, that's exactly. See, that's dumb.
I mean, Roode has the capability of being babyface. He did a decent babyface.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's capable of being both. But how they handling him is dumb. Because it look like they're not even trying. They're just giving up on him.
Well, they tried a lot with Rude in the beginning of SmackDown. It's just fans didn't care, and they tried a lot. Because like they could have given him the U.S. title in that triple threat match. It was Corbin, him, and Ziggler. I think it was a December pay-per-view, Roadblock or some bullshit. I can't remember. Whichever December pay-per-view was.
Nah.
And then Rude was like super over in that show. Like he was like one of the more over guys. And then Ziggler won the belt. And then the next week Ziggler was like, "Alright, I'm dropping the title." Like, oh. And then he dropped the title. And it was like they made Rude do this all
another motherfucker I can't stand.
And they made Rude go through this tournament that no one cared about. But like to say that WWE didn't do anything with Rude, that's kind of something where I disagree 100% because they were shoving him pretty hard in the beginning. They just kind of made some misplays. Like, you know, it's like a quarterback in the NFL. It's like they just made some wrong reads. Like they were doing good for one portion of the game. The coach was calling the right plays. And then all of a sudden the coach decided, hey, you know what? Let's go fucking attack Jalen Ramsey. Are you ready for this shit? No, coach, I feel like we've been attacking AJ Bouye and he can't guard the drag route. No. Fucking throw that streak to Jalen Ramsey. And then Jalen Ramsey picked it off and got a pick six. That's what they kind of did with the U.S. title, was that Rude was like driving for a bunch of touchdowns and stuff, being a good field general. And then they fucked up because they decided to give Ziggler the belt for no reason. And then, you know, Bobby Roode suffered from that.
That's what modern WWE, they know to do that shit now. They just do random shit. There's no rhyme or reason. It's like some of the stuff they do to just piss the fans off. Like, okay, why?
Well, I feel like doesn't Impact sometimes do stuff that piss off the fans. I feel like they do.
Oh yeah, they had their random moments too. I ain't gonna lie.
Like,
but with WWE, it looks like it's more. They do it more times.
I think WWE is like, who's a good head coach to kind of compare them to? Like Impact right now, they're like, Impact right now, they're like a.
I compare them to the Cowboys.
WWE is not a Jason Garrett.
Cowboys.
Jason Garrett's a.
Well, not the head coach, but more like Jerry Jones. That's what I compare.
I'm comparing
right
more
now.
on the coach level. Like I like comparing coaches and shit like that to like what WWE is. Like WWE, I mean, because Jason Garrett's just madly inconsistent for me, where it's just annoying. Like WWE is like Tom Coughlin.
Yeah, he's a sit here coach. So
huh?
I don't like him.
Yeah, he's been.
Yeah, I don't really like Garrett anyway. So
no, Tom Coughlin. They're like a Tom Coughlin, where it's like every once in a while they'll have like that one good year. But for the most part, it's always kind of like a madly inconsistent team. You don't know what you're getting. Sometimes they'll be great on defense. Sometimes they won't. That's how I feel with WWE. Like, Impact, they're like, right now, they like that, like, I wouldn't say the Rams because that's too much credit to Impact right now. Like, you know, they're not like Sean McVay and everything like that. They're not like that super sexy thing and stuff. But they're a team with like a hot young head coach. Like, maybe, I guess you could say, no, because that's mean to say. I mean, history-wise, they are kind of like the Buffalo Bills. They don't really have like. They had a good start, then they kind of have a rocky middle, and then recently they've just been kind of up and down and consistent. I don't know if you would compare Impact to the Bills, but that's who I would compare them to. I mean, they're kind of like the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I compare with your first comparison to the Rams.
Oh no, they're not Sean McVay, dude. They're not that sexy.
No.
No,
Look like it.
no, they're not that sexy, man.
No.
You know what? Actually, I'll compare them to the 49ers then. Kyle Shanahan. They're like Kyle Shanahan right now.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
They're rebuilding. They have a piece like Moose, who's like their Jimmy Garoppolo type of gimmick and shit like that. You don't know if they're going to be good, but you don't know if they're going to be bad. But they're solid. They're consistent. The Rams are too much, man. Like, you can't compare. Like, the Rams are different, man. The Rams are another animal.
Yeah.
Like, the Impact is not that sexy. It's like, like, I'm sorry. Like, when it comes to Impact, like don't get me wrong. Slammiversary is probably the best pay-per-view this year. But at the same time, I don't.
No doubt about it.
But at the same time, that pay-per-view did not make up for Redemption so much, because Redemption was trash. That was a bad Impact pay-per-view. Like, calling that shit Redemption.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think it was trash, but it was not really as good as many people say it was. I think they had hits and misses.
No, it's trash. If we are going off that like WWE puts on trash pay-per-views,
it seemed like it was a prelude to Slammiversary. That's what it seemed like to me. It was a filler pay-per-view. And it shouldn't have been necessarily a filler pay-per-view because it seemed like you build it up as a big deal.
Yeah,
but
at
the end of the people didn't I agree with you there.
That's what I consider trash. Like if a big 4 pay-per-view sucks for me in WWE, it's
trash.
But
overall wasn't trash to me. You know?
I feel
watchable.
Redemption, they should have repaid me for watching that shit because I sat there and I paid $40 to see shit. Like besides the main event that I already saw for free with Lucha Underground versus Impact. The only good thing about Redemption is that Del Stinko wasn't on that fucking card to once again become Impact World Champion and ruin the company. So thank God for that. Thank God. You know what?
Yeah.
We don't give Del Real credit for many things, but you know what, Del Real? Thank God you showed Lucha Underground versus Impact Wrestling, because if you didn't, holy shit, we would have to deal with your dumb ass.
And the thing about it, I kind of used to actually like him. I actually like him.
No.
Yeah.
Because
he's a good-looking dude, you know. He had a believable something about him, you know.
Yeah, but him as Impact
But it's like his personal life is...
No, I'm just saying him as a world champion, I just can't get behind. Like, I just don't like him as a world champion.
Yeah, I don't think he's necessarily a world title type, but I think he's a good
he's like that guy where it's like, hey man, what are we doing with Matt Sydal since he lost the X Division title? You know what? Fucking Del Real, give him Del Real for a feud. Let's see how he does against Del Real. And it's no harm, no foul, because if Sydal doesn't get over in the way that the producers want, you just have Del Real win. And you hope Del Real's stuck. But if he does,
right?
Sydal, you know, like it's not you're not like that's how Del Real is. Del Real's like a no lose situation. Like he's a gatekeeper type of guy. He's not like a fucking I give you the world title type of guy. Because like I just feel he's too unreliable to be your world champion. Like he goes wherever the money is. You know,
that's true too. Yeah,
he's just too unreliable. Like I wouldn't want Impact to like throw the belt on him, and then all of a sudden WWE saw that hey, Del Real's getting some steam. Let's offer him a contract. Then Del Real walks out as your world champion, and let's just say, you know, Impact taped a bunch of episodes.
He's known to do shit like that.
Yeah, that's the thing with Del Real. Like that's why I don't trust him. Like I just feel he's a terrible guy to put in your main event like that.
The same thing Loki does.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's why I'm afraid for MLW right now. I'm like, why didn't you just give the belt to? Oh, fucking MLW! Why didn't they just give the belt to Johnny Hennigan? Just give it to him. Why the fuck did you have to cap Loki retain?
Yeah.
Because like,
I'm enjoying MLW too. That's one of my favorite weekly shows.
Oh no, it's a good weekly show. I like it. You know, I don't know how to watch their pay-per-views, but yeah, no, it's free on YouTube. You know, comes on every Saturday for me, so I just watch it on YouTube every Saturday. It's a easy hour of wrestling. It's easy hour. You know, there's a bunch of goofy wrestlers that are cool, and there's a bunch of serious wrestlers that are cool. You know, there's a good widespread of talent. You know, that's one thing I'll give MLW. It's not just like, oh yeah, this is like some boring crap. I just don't like that Loki's champion. Loki.
Yeah, just waiting on the moment he randomly walks out. You know.
Man. Oh yeah.
Yeah, what do you call himself now? The professional.
Yeah, dude. He's
that's the way he is in real life though. He just goes whatever pays him the most.
Yeah. Hey, that's what Kaval, Senshi, Loki, whatever the fuck he wants to go by. That's what he does. Fuck him. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He's a great wrestler though. Good X Division champ. Probably one of the better X Division champions. Top 5 X Division champions of all time.
Don't give him a long-term contract. No.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying he's the top 5 X Division champion of all time. Like, if you were to rank X Division champions of all time, number 1 would go Styles by default. Number 2 would go Christopher Daniels. Number 3, Aries. Number 4, Joe. And then number 5, Low Key. Like, he's like a top 5. Like Chris Sabin never really did shit with the belt. I don't even know. I can't remember if Alex Shelley even touched.
Only time I like Chris Sabin with him and Alex Shelley with the Motor City Machine Guns.
Well, tag team wise, that's like one of the top 5 TNA tag teams ever. And even if you want to go outside of TNA, they're like a top 15 tag team ever. You know. Outside.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Machine Guns.
Yeah, no, MCM like top 5 TNA tag teams of all time. Number 1, Beer Money. Number 2, LAX. Number 3, Motor City. Number 4, America's Most Wanted. And then number 5.
Yeah, America's. I like it.
You know, number 5's hard because like I want to say Triple X, but I think the K did a lot more for Impact's tag division, especially when it was like kind of dying. Like I feel like they're a top 5. Like they I feel like that's been crazy. Like I don't know why Crazy Steve's one of those guys where it's like I don't know why you love TNA because you could have been at least X Division champ or something for that company right now. Like. Well, he's like jobbing in WWE right now. He's not doing anything really, to be honest. But yeah, those are like if you were to say top 5 TNA tag teams, those are my top 5 TNA tag teams. Shout out to the Naturals and a bunch of other teams. The random AJ Styles teams, the Christian Coalitions of the world. But those are the 5 tag teams. Like LAX, like new LAX, I kind of group in with LAX because it's still LAX. It's not. It's like the fucking NWO. It's still NWO. So like. New LAX is kind of grouped in with LAX, but Santana and Ortiz, they're kind of making the mark on their own. They just can't talk. Like they need Conan. Like they unless they're speaking Spanish, these motherfuckers don't know how to cut a promo in English.
Oh, Homicide Hernandez ain't really that much better.
Dude, Hernandez, dude, don't you dare diss Super Mex's promo skills. I love Super Mex's. Super Mex is one of the top 5 guys TNA should have pushed. That they never gave the world title to. He's one of the uncrowned world champions.
You know what? I agree with you there. Especially during that. Remember they were pushing them real hard, like the Mexican American stuff and all that. You remember that?
Yeah, with Anarchia.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when it goes to top 5 guys that TNA should have made world champions, but they didn't. Number 1 is Matt Morgan. The Blueprint should have been fucking world champion. 100%.
Oh yeah, definitely him.
But they never gave him the world title. Number 2, it's a maybe a disagreement here, but Crimson, they were fucking shoving Crimson down our throats. Motherfucker never became world champion. Number 3 will then be Super Mex.
I think he was still kind of green at the time.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck, dude. They were making,
looked like.
It was cool. I love Crimson.
It wasn't necessarily like Goldberg green. It's like more like this green, like because with Goldberg you could cover his green because the dude looked like a fucking monster, and he looked like he legit kill people. Mm-hmm. But compared with Crimson, he didn't have that type of vibe with him. Look like he could go out there and be a destroyer like Goldberg was.
Yeah, I guess, but I just felt with the amount of shoving they did with him, he should have been world champion. Number 4, the Alpha Male.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people would have hated that. A lot of people would have.
I was down with it. I said, look, if you're going all the way, look, Devon was
I did like Chris.
Huh?
I did like him too.
Oh,
but
I think you like Christian. I'm like, who didn't like Christian?
The title.
No, I would have been down. I would have been down with them. Number 4, the Alpha Male, Monty Brown. He should have been a world champion. The fact
definitely.
That he isn't is ridiculous.
What the hell was that?
That like fucking Jarrett, not doing.
I always get the Rock vibe with him. I always get that's what he kind of remind me of, the Alpha Male. Sometimes persona kind of remind me of more like the Rock, or sometimes you try to person like maybe Muhammad Ali or something like that.
Yeah, that's why I like Marcus Corvon. Like everyone hated Marcus Corvon. I loved it. Like you could tell he was gonna be like United States champion forever on SmackDown once he went there because he got drafted to SmackDown, and then so. Monty Brown is number 4. Number 5.
But there's something like something like a personal matter happened. That's why. Because I think they were willing to push him, but something happened personal wise, and that's why he had to leave.
His sister passed away, and unfortunately, at the
that's what it was.
He went to take care of his sister's kids and stuff like that, and he couldn't do that with the WWE schedule. And plus, he's a former NFL.
Right.
He's a former NFL player. He especially at the end, he's like smart with his money. He didn't blow all his fucking money, so it's like. He had money to like kind of do his own thing, and I think he did some fucking office work or charity work to like make up money anyway. So he was fine with money. Like he hasn't wrestled for a while. And then number 5, I know this one will be controversial, but he's another guy that they kind of pushed hard, but they never really gave the belt to. Wildcat Chris Harris. There was a time where Wildcat Chris Harris was like a good singles guy. Like he was a very solid singles guy. Very solid.
He's a good wrestler, but I don't think he didn't really have the personality to.
Well, that's why he didn't have the
stand personality, in my opinion.
That's why he's number 5.
Not compared to James Storm.
Oh yeah, well James Storm's a world champion. It's not like James Storm never held the belt. He should have held.
Yeah, but I'm talking like personality wise. He didn't stand out to make you think, oh, this guy needs to be world champion.
Harris was always like the better worker than Storm. Storm was just the better talker.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like top 5 guys who never won the TNA World Title. He's the top 5 guy in my personal opinion. Like he should have won the TNA World Title at least once, like or the NWA World Champion. Like when Christian was doing stupid heel shit. But like you're telling me you couldn't give like him one world title. Like Sting dropped the belt to fucking Abyss. Like you couldn't tell me that Sting couldn't just say like here's
that was random. Yeah.
Like Abyss is one of the guys that should have never won the world title. Like he didn't need it. He never needed a world title.
Yeah, exactly. He needed it because he's a monster character. It's kind of like Kane, you know.
He had his own gimmick, the Monsters Ball. That's all he needs is that stupid Monsters Ball match. That's it. He loses it, but he still fucking has it. Doesn't like he needs anything else. He's just Abyss and stuff like that. So when it comes down to it, what other top 5 Impact things can we do? Top 5 world champs.
Hey, Chase, man, I think we're going to have to wrap this up because I got to go into work early in the morning.
For sure. But yeah, quick thing for me, top 5 world champs. 1, Bobby Roode. 2, AJ Styles. 3, The Stinger. 4, Joe. 5, Kurt Angle. I like Lashley, but Lashley don't make my top 5.
I got AJ number 1. I got AJ number 1. Yeah. Kurt Angle number 2.
Kurt Angle. Okay,
I think he really did a lot. He's credible. I put Sting number 3.
Stinger, yeah. Gotta give credit where credit's due with the Stinger.
Yeah. Number 4, maybe Bobby Roode or maybe I don't know between Roode and Joe.
See, because Roode has that long title reign that really had good stock. He had good stock with that long title reign. That was a good stock title reign.
Definitely. So I guess I'll put Joe 5 then.
Joe 5. Yeah, I like Lashley, but he's not a top 5 Impact World Champion of all time.
No, because
All right, so the first half of this was a debate. The second half of us was just kind of having a good wrestling discussion. And that's what you get. So if you guys want to come on this channel and do the same thing that EJ did, hit me up on Twitter at ChaseOver68. Post in the comment section. I don't care. Just come on. Give me a topic to talk about, too. Don't be like, Chase, I want to debate you. About what? Give me a topic. I need a topic. Like, I can't just debate you because you want to debate me. Like, what are we going to debate about? Because, like, if you're going to say, like, Chase, we're going to debate. Like, give me a good, like, for example, if you want to debate what matches should be in the Hell in a Cell this year. All right, cool. I'll tell you that Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy needs a Hell in a Cell match because they're going to kill each other in that match. Give me a topic. Like, debate me why Austin Aries doesn't suck.
I wish we could see that.
What?
But you know that's not going to happen.
No, I think they're building it up because they've been doing a bunch of crazy shit on SmackDown Live. And Joe and Wendy cannot be in the Hell in a Cell. So, but yeah. So
yeah, I hope they do a Joe AJ Hell in a Cell. I definitely would see that.
No, dude, I want Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton to get that Hell in a Cell match more. Jeff Hardy will already jump off the fucking top of the cell with the Swanton. It'll be great. He'll kill himself, but it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's true too.
That's way more appealing than Joe going like, Wendy, don't you see what I'm doing to your husband now? And stuff like that. Like I'll take Jeff Hardy almost.
I'll take himself. Both.
Yeah, well, Raw has to get the Hell in a Cell there, and we might get the Wyatts versus the Shield. So that's the main event. But yeah, so if you guys have a topic you want to talk about, just give it to me. It has to be a good topic too. Like, we're not going to debate if the young Bucks suck or not. That's not a topic to debate about. Like, we all know the Young Bucks or whatever. It's like, that's what they are. They're just merch movers. We're not going to debate about, like...
I like the Young Bucks.
No, Young Bucks are all right. Like, they have their niche. But, like, we're not going to debate, like, stupid shit. Like, just give me a great topic to talk about. And then we can debate it and have a good time. Post what you thought, one in the debate, comment section. Follow me on Twitter at ChaseOver68. All that other stuff if you made this far. I'll probably have to rewatch this video anyways and do timestamps and stuff. Those will be in the description box as well. But yeah, EJ, anything you want to plug before we make like babies and head out?
Let's say I had a bunch of fun talking with you, discussing wrestling with you, man. You're a cool guy, Chase. You know, even though we disagree on some stuff, but you're a cool guy, man. Appreciate you.
Oh yeah, no, that's the whole point. Like people need to understand we're just fucking talking about wrestling, dude. Like we can debate. And talk about
that's
wrestling.
all it is. That's all it is.
It's like debating sports with your friends. Like it's just like that's why I always tell wrestling fans. It's like when you argue who's the best quarterback. It's like when someone brings up Peyton Manning's better than Tom Brady, and you can disagree with that, and it's a great argument because Peyton Manning has all this regular season crap that Brady doesn't, but Brady has won 5 Super Bowls, so you're gonna be like, oh, Brady won the Super Bowls, but Peyton did this as MVP, and Peyton had a harder division. You look at head-to-head matchups, and I think Tom Brady's better. Fuck it, I can't convince myself to like Peyton Manning for like 2 seconds. Fuck him. Fuck the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Go Chargers. Both.